It says, see what great love the Father has lavished on us, that we should be called the children of God. Think about that we should be called his children. I don't care how many children you have. Most of the time, people know who their children are. They know how to take care of their children. They know what their children's needs are. They do their best to meet them, right? Whether that's just you have that one child who you devote everything to, or you have 2 children you devote everything to, or you have 8 at a time. Whatever it is, you know who your children are, and you know how to take care of them. And it doesn't just say that God, that as our Father, He gave us some love. It doesn't say that God appropriated the equal amount of love for each and every one of us. No, it says He lavished His love on us. Lavished. So strong, passionately. He just, it's almost like, imagine, and I'm on a carbless diet, so this is really difficult for me to share with you, but imagine you take a cupcake and you take a whole pound of Cool Whip and you just throw it on there. That's lavishing. He's just putting it all on there. All right? He's not just saying, all right, I've got 4 billion people to love. You get 1 out of 4 billion. I don't know what the decimal is for that, right? You get 0.0000000% of my love. Okay? That's not what he says. He says he's lavished it on each of us. And so much to the point that he calls us his children. Amen. Have you ever loved a stranger? Have you ever been to a grocery store and you've seen that kid who doesn't get what he wants? Right? Starts throwing down on the floor, a little bit of screaming, grabbing some stuff, tossing it around. You ever seen that? All right, that's another subject for another day. But how many of you have ever looked at that child and just been like, I love you so much. You know what? Let me buy everything. Let me take care of you. Let me buy you a cake, kid. Let me take you to Chuck E. Cheese's. All right? How many of you guys would do that for that kid who's screaming? Is that the thought that's running through your head? No, right? It's like, hey, I've got a belt. Would you like to borrow? Right? And we have this attitude that towards these children, right? Because they're not our kids. We see them acting out, and sometimes, I'm not going to lie, my kids have acted out before in the past, and I've dealt with that as it is, but we would never think that for another kid, another family's kids in the middle of the store. But I want you to think about the fact that each and every one of us who has sinned, right? We've all fallen short of the glory of God. We've all, at the very least, told a lie. We've all, at the very least, broken a promise. We've done something small to at least separate us from God. Think of us as that yelling, tantrum-throwing child, and God coming up to us and saying, everything's going to be okay. So don't for a second think that God doesn't love us as an individual. Because even while we were not, we didn't want to be his children. Right. Even when we were devoted to living a life that was dedicated to something else, God says, I love you so much, and I'm going to lavish my love upon